Well, as you know, we're back again, and you listen to your boy Low, and you ride out on the show. Sports Club Florida, we doing it big. 2026 is where to go. Y'all look forward to 2025, but 2025 is gone. We laid low, but now we're back on the top. Because there's a lot of things that's going on in 2026 in the world we call sports, in the world we call the portal, the transfer, the athletes. Where they going to go? What they going to do? What's the mindset of an athlete in 2026? We're not just talking about football. All sports have the same drama that's going on. What drama gonna take an athlete out? That's just what it is. I'm gonna give it to you raw. I'm gonna give it to you straight. If I don't give it to you straight, then you don't have truly a mindset of greatness, a commitment of greatness, a sacrifice of greatness, and a passion of greatness. Well, get ready, because we bring it to you back again on Mondays, 7 p.m. We're coming live and we're coming strong. Stay close to home and make sure you listen with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Cause it's about to go down to the funky sound backed up by James Brown. So make sure y'all tuning in to the show, Sports Club Florida, with your boy, Coach Low for Life, aka the Camp King. Now I got my boy here with me too, Mr. Right Choice. And we're gonna give you the right word and the right choice. What's going on, Tramayne?
Man, what's going on, Coach Low? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear like I'm on
Hey,
top of a beer.
all right, do a favor for me though. Go on your little screen and click on your pod mic because I hear you through your computer.
Okay. Oh, you want me to go to the pond. You want to hear me nice and clear. Because I need to hear the word that can hit them and put in their life. You feel me? There
Get a
it is.
switch.
Bingo. We rolling like hot cakes with some syrup on it.
All right, so
Tempo.
yeah. Okay, so we'll get that straight. Since we all locked in real quick, I know you guys, it's been a little while. We ain't do nothing during the football season. We had a lot of stuff moving on. I did a lot of transitioning. Coach was a lot of busy, but as you guys know, it's camp season. It started like a month ago, and I feel like this is the best time to really get back on here, talk about what we've been seeing lately in the sports world with me and Coach Lowe. So there's a lot of impactful thing that's coming out right now with the portal changing from 2 to 1. As everybody knows, the portal that just opened up the other day that ends on the 16th of this month, and also not to mention it's camp season. So there's a lot of different camps that's going on, a lot of different ones that we're gonna name throughout this show. But we're gonna try to be consistent. If we're not consistent, only because a lot of times we're traveling on the weekend doing camps during state to state and city to city. So our goal is to be on here Monday and also give you a little recap of what we've seen during that previous weekend of the kids that's competing in the camp that we're doing. So, so I'm bringing Coach Lowe back on real quick. So talk a little bit, Coach Lowe, about so far what you've been seeing a little bit in the camp world since we started out in I think North Carolina. How's everything been going since then?
It's been going straight up to the top because the game have changed. So athletes now know that they have to do everything they can in their might, in their means, to make sure someone recognizes them and someone know who they are and someone is seeing them. It don't matter. It used to come to the time where it come down to film, it come down to grade. Now it come down to exposure. Getting that exposure, getting people to recognize who you are, or just making sure just a glimpse, a little clip, you dominating, but maybe that kind of coach on Twitter or Instagram or even Facebook or anything, they can say, let me check his film out now, because the game will definitely have changed. When you see more and more athletes that's getting into the camp circuit again, it used to be a time where the top athlete only came to the camp circuit. Now everyone is going to the camp circuit because they know that if just one person can watch them, one sports writer can watch them, or coaches that coach all over, that know college coaches, and they like you, they build a relationship with you, that they might can put a word in for you. So the camp scene has definitely been impactful for a lot of you athletes. I'm talking about the numbers are definitely continue to grow in the different camp scene. So it's been great.
So, real quick, let's talk about that real quick. Because I've not traveled you so far at the beginning of the season, I will now. Every time I talked to you, you didn't talk about how many kids you have been seeing been coming to the camp. So real quick, you guys. So when we do camps, we do a middle school camp and a high school camp. So there's 2 different camps. What's the numbers looking like from middle school to high school? What are you seeing a big difference on? Is it high school, middle school, or is it the same?
Oh, definitely in the middle school. Middle school know they have to get a jump start now. It used to be a time where middle school, don't worry about camp, you're too young, too young, too young. But now middle school have to get in a certain space now when it comes to the camps. They have to be around the right people. They have to be start networking now. They have to know the ins and outs of recruiting and going to the right camps or going to camp, period. Because the camps that have the value going to give a middle school parent and a middle school athlete a blueprint to this football journey, to recruiting, and to get it to the next level. So middle school right now at a certain camp, they're averaging sometimes 250 to 300 middle schoolers are out there at camps right now, and which is larger numbers than high schoolers. The high school camp can average, the camps I have done the last four, about 200. But years ago, high school had 500 athletes at it, easy, and there's no middle schools. But now the tide is kind of changing. The game is kind of changing now because of the transfer and the portals and the different recruiting process. But that's what's going on now in the camp world.
So real quick, to piggyback off that, is that why it's so important now? That why it's been a big emphasis in Central Florida about FBU because of that transition and seeing kids on I guess a bigger stage. I know there's YNC, C1N, and all them other things, but with FBU, it gives them the stage to get to what we just saw this past weekend is Under Armour, which a
Mm-hmm.
lot of kids want to get selected into that, and that goes in from get selected from the middle school kids, correct, to get up to the FBU platform to get to the national championship to get selected to play and get to play in the big game. Am I correct?
Well, it definitely is. One thing about the FBU is an end game. When it comes to FBU, there's an end game. So, and once again, it go back to putting a value to the camp. And when we go to FBU camp, there's an end game because at the end you have opportunity to be selected to play in an All American game. Now there's a lot of All American games out there, but we know right now, the cream of the crop right now is LPU because they're now connected to all the Under Armour. So now they got the best of both worlds. So you have a freshman All American game, then you have an eighth grade Under Armour All American game. Now with Under Armour and them together, now you can add more games because they have the right backing behind it, like the Under Armour, which is one of the top apparel brands in the country and does the Under All American game for the high school for the years and years, almost 20 years now, if I'm correct. So the end game is how do I become an All American and be recognized as a true All American? Because when Under Armour put their stamp on you, then that kind of speaks volume. And when you round them type of athletes, it helped propel the journey for youth kids, and they want to be in that game. Because think about it, if I'm in the sixth grade, seventh grade, or eighth grade, and I'm ready to go to high school, if I come into high school with the credentials saying that, oh, that was a sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade All American, or now they look at me a little different. Now I'm getting recognized a little bit different. Now I got more confidence. And one thing, confidence is huge. So if I'm playing well, but I got that title behind me, I got more confident. I'm my chest poked out, right, and I'm ready to go compete and maybe have that opportunity now, not just go in and play as a freshman in high school, maybe go in that varsity.
All right, so just to correct you real quick, you was almost right. It was 17 years that Under Armour has been doing it,
Right.
and they started in January of 2007, 2007, 2008. Sorry, 2008. So yes, you're correct. Almost 20 years that they have been doing it, and since this is my first year going down to Naples and seeing the impact and how beautiful it is down there in Naples, and seeing everybody compete from state to state that come to Naples and compete with everybody that's in FBU. And the crazy thing is, I saw one of the teams that one of the best quarterbacks. What age group was he in? 12U or 10U? The kid from Atlanta.
Somebody, yes. No, there was on
So
this. Go ahead.
the thing I was about to say about that is that team played in YNC and they transitioned over to FBU.
Correct.
So I know a lot of people dished out not doing FB or whatnot, but the schedule allows you, if you continue to do it like this, allows you to come and still compete at FBU. It's not during the same week. So just guys, keep that in mind for next year because I think it's a good platform for kids to actually compete. It's a different stage. This day in 2026, it's all about exposure. What's the best exposure? Yes, there's a lot of camps out there. There's a lot of bowl games. There's a lot of everything. But what is the best one for you and your kids to get the best exposure and the best coaching at the end of the day? Best coaching at the end of the day to correct the mistakes that the kids are doing. That's the number one thing at the end of the day. We already know there's bad coaching at the end of the day out there. We already know that. There's a lot of reasons to that. So what is a good platform for your kid to get good coaching? So I think FBU is one of that because Coach Lowe, if you know Coach Lowe, I've been around for the last couple of years. He usually get credible people that's on the staff. If you ever come see one of Coach Lowe coaches, he always starts off and gives the credentials of every single person that coaches or even trains with. So everybody played college. I can tell you that right now. There's nobody that did not play college. If they played college and got hurt, they still went to college. It doesn't matter. They still went there, got a
Mm-hmm.
scholarship. So he
Mm-hmm.
always had credible people that played at some kind of school, from NAIA to D2 to D1 to pro level. It doesn't matter. Name it, he got it. They all did it. And I'm living proof that I have actually seen all this. Just to keep that in mind, I know we talked a little bit. I wanted to transition and how we're going to get to what we'll be talking about today is basically just talking about middle school, the impact, and also seeing high school. Another cool thing about high school I've seen too is Coach Lowe. If you can see an Under Armour game used to be 12th, nothing but 12th graders. Used to be nothing but 12th graders. But if you guys know what's happening is they can't get all of them 12th graders anymore because of the portal and also
Correct.
early signing in December. So now they're
Correct.
losing the best of the best kids, and now they're allowing 11th graders. So guess who was in Under Armour that was in there 2 times this year? I didn't think he was going to be there. Who was that?
Jake Crowell
And where's he from?
from
Central Florida.
IMG.
Well, he's a Central Florida kid.
Center for the kid, yeah, center for the kid, but with IMG. But yes, you're correct. He played in back to back because you can't do that now because, like I said, it's limited. So seniors don't want to play. Because number one, seniors. It used to be a time. Let me put it away. My son Lowe was one of the first early enrollee to go to the University of Notre Dame, and all of a sudden it became a trickle down effect. So my boy, I trained Darren Monroe, early enrollee to Washington State. I said, okay, now we're talking. So a majority of the kids now started going early enrollment. Now it's by almost by force. They telling you we need you here in January. So and they need you there in January. Then guess what? You can't play in that All American game because All American game is in January. Not on that, they're thinking we don't need you hurt. Why? Because we paying you that money. We need you here early. We don't want you to do nothing to get hurt. If you're gonna get injured, you're gonna get injured at Alabama. You're gonna get injured at LSU. You're gonna get injured at Oregon. You're not gonna get injured at an All American game. So what that did is that's the top athlete. But then Under Armour can just really just replace them with anybody. Navy All American game, they replace them with anybody they want to, but they're not because that's supposed to be the cream of the crop, best of the best. So what's the next best thing? Do I take a 2-star or 1-star to put him in the game, or I go get me a 3 or 4 or 5-star junior put him in the game? They got it approved, and there it is. And that's why you have top athlete like University of Oklahoma commit from Central Florida, right from the FBU path, Jake Crowell, right there. But that's how that path works. So it's interesting that you brought that up too, because it is true. So now juniors and their top guy get opportunity to still get a chance to play in the All-American game. I can't hear you now, Coach. So it means I look like Tramayne, look quiet right there. But going back to this process, now everybody understand when it comes to the All American games, they're big. It's like a resume. So when I have a youth athlete that had a chance to play in the YNC and they win a national championship, I got to give it props. It's a resume. But an athlete that plays in an All American game through FBU now with Under Armour is a true resume even more because now it started following you through because that's the path when all said and done. Colleges have a great, strong relationship with FBU, with Under Armour, strong relationship with them. I never forget when I was at a freshman All-American practice. And I remember Anthony Williams said, hey, make sure when a
Yep.
college coach talking to you, when you're talking to a college coach, let's make sure if they ask about another player, you know who that player is. So he made them ride the bus together, network together, to help each other because recruiting is so tough. And sure enough, her kid said, Coach Boston College of Maryland called and asked about kids at the French All American game. And sure enough, that kid got an offer. So it's very, very important to do their best to get in the games so that the games can help your recruiting. So when they recruiting you, they're recruiting All American. Just think about it. I'm gonna do a quick scenario. If I got two brothers, they're twins, identical twins, and both play running back. One got 1,000 yards, the other got 2,000 yards, but they're identical,
Yep.
right? You already know they're gonna probably go with that twin, got 2,000 yards. What if both of them have 1,000 yards, same number carry, same height, same size, identical, same number of plays, same GPA? But only one of them was a freshman All American. Only one of them, he also an eighth grade All American. He got about national combine and dominated. And say the other one didn't. But they're identical and everywhere in the stats. They're gonna take the one that got the status behind them that say All
So
American, especially nowadays, because guess what? The fans, the boosters, the money is all said and done.
so real quick. So can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna answer Tony Icky. So he says some of those kids ain't even deserve to be in the Under Armour eighth grade game. So let's clarify this real quick. How do you get selected to get in the eighth grade All American game? That's I guess the number one thing to ask. How do you get selected?
And you know what? And I would say this here. Everyone's entitled to their opinion when it comes to the games. They're definitely entitled to their opinion. But let me ask you this is the question you gotta ask yourself. Was your son in a position to get picked for the eighth grade All American game? And there's a thousands and thousands of thousands of kids that want to play in that game. But how do they get picked to be in that game? Going to be based on not just their ability, but to be seen. If they're not seen, they're not at the camps, they're not on the FBU circuit, they're not at the Under Armour camp, or they're not at the Top Gun, the place to be seen, to be recognized, then how are we going to put them in there? I mean, it's just what it is. And they're not going to pick all the players from one city. Realistically, you could have took Miami, the team that AKA boys from Orlando to Florida, and the Miami team that played in the YC championship. You could have put them all together and played an All-American game. But then that's just another game. That's just two teams in the same area. That's not how it works. People got to open their mind a little bit. They're gonna take the best players that been in front of them from around the country. That player can be the best in this city, the best in that state, the best in that state. They're gonna bring them together, put them together to compete for a national championship. I know for a fact I can name 10 kids that better than 10 kids in that under game. But in the same 10 kids that didn't dominate a camp, didn't go to a camp, didn't dominate in the FBU national tournament circuit, or couldn't afford to get in them tournaments to be in front of them, had other things going on, doing other sports. So now all said and done, it's not about those kids
Hmm.
that's better than them. It come down to was they in position, in place to be seen, be recognized, and be in that game. And last but not least, what village are they part of? Who's fighting for them? Who pushing for them? Ask yourself that question. And then when you did go to the camp, was you MVP? Was you top five? Was he that guy? That's a big question too.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of political things in between the Under Armour thing too. So I understand where you're coming from. A lot of them don't, but that's something between some me and Coach Lowe have nothing even to chime in on. We're not selecting the kids. You know, you can put something in the hat, but it's up to them at the end of the day. So at the end of
Correct.
the day, like he said, one key thing is your kid at all them locations? That's the number one thing. Is he at all? How many chances are you giving your son to be selected into it? Are you at FBU? Are you at Top Gun? Are you doing Under Armour? Are you in all them selected them camps that has a bid to get the eighth grade game? So that's a little bit on the middle school, and let's catching up real quick to where we're gonna get to right now. We're definitely gonna go back to that on the future episodes. But the key thing today is because everybody know the hot topic right now. The hot topic right now is everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving. Coaches, assistant coaches, everybody, and all the players. So today, me and Coach Lowe, we talked about getting back on here. The key thing that you can see that just popped up: the portal is overcrowded. As of right now, the number's been climbing from 2,000, 3,000. Now we're way over 4,000 college football players, D1, that have entered the
D1.
transfer portal. This is
Mm-hmm.
this is crazy. This is bananas because they took away two, so now you only have one option. So this is what I look at. If you didn't sign to go to college early in December, and now you're trying to sign in, you're supposed to sign in February, and now you have all these people that just finished bowl games, just finished playoff games. They're entering the portal. That allows all these different teams to look at this roster, 4,000 roster list, and check off the boxes that normally sometimes would have been for the kids that's in high school. Coach Lowe, talk to me about how this has affected and made college bad. And also did one good thing I would definitely say. Transfer portal did make it an even playing field on the football field. You know, I'm an Alabama fan. I'm an alumni. Everybody already know we got destroyed by Indiana, and all that came to transfer portal. Let's be real. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, call it what it is. When Nick Saban was there, we had a transfer portal. That would never happen. The score would have been reversed. So transfer portal made it an even playing field across the whole board. Let's be real. Because one thing about me, I'm always be 100. So let's talk real quick, Coach Lowe, about this.
This thing about the portal, right? It's called game changer. It don't change the game. The game has been changed. It's not football. It's money ball. That's not gonna change. It's not student athlete. It's athlete student. So just with them three phrases I just gave you, people have to look at it that way now. All because of the portal, aka the NIL, at the same time. They go hand in hand. The problem is with the portal in itself, the kids are not educated enough on how it truly gonna work. Just think about it. When they say the portal gonna open on the 2nd and close on the 15th. January the 2nd, it opens. January the 15th, it closes. That we call that pressure. That's called pressure. That's big pressure right there. Big pressure. So now I got to decide now what way I'm going. Should I get in the portal? What if I get in the portal? I'm questioning myself. I'm stressed. I'm not focused. What am I going to do? Instead of them just sitting down and talking to someone and have a good conversation and making sure that they're going to make the right decision going in that portal and they are prepared for the wrong decision.
Hold on, real quick. One issue. Why are you going in the portal if you don't know where you're going?
Because they feel like they can go. Because one reason I learned, let me let me hit you with this one right here. 6'5", 230, tight end,
My
12 catches,
size.
12 catches. 6'5", 230, tight end, 20 catches. This one, they got 12 catches, get a scholarship to go play at Vanderbilt. So the other kid's saying, whoa, I got the same
Uh,
size, same build,
uh,
everything. I got 20 catches. I'm at HBCU.
I'm
Let
leaving.
me. I think I can go in that portal and do it too. So guess what they do? Jump in the portal, and they still in the portal. What they failed to realize was their level of school versus his level of school, his potential versus his potential, his years availability left and his years availability left, who he was coached by, and was he really coached up? Or do they got to coach this guy here because based on film, what they seen? Did he come from a program that was a losing program or a winning program? What is a
What?
winning coach or a losing coach? So who you want in your program? They have to look at, they gotta map out all of that to see and weigh the options. Don't just look at our stats. Look at everything come with the stat. Losing program. How many years you got left? Was it coaching where you at? When you coached up? Did you dominate against the top team? Was your catch against sorry team a good team? No one sit down and write down all of these things, the pros and the cons, and say, yep, I can go in the portal, or no, let me stay. That's the problem. They're not putting out the pros and cons.
That makes a lot of sense. And too, another thing too, I've been seeing as well, the lower tier schools, the FCS, the HBCUs, a lot of kids are going to portal, but they did prove themselves. Let's use one example: a kid from Jones that was at Sacramento. Sacramento. Look where he went. He's at
Yep.
Colorado now.
Yep.
But he put in the work though. I told one of
Right.
the young gentlemen too as well, that if you go to school and you do your job, even if you're trying to chase a bag, if you do your job, you put the numbers out, the school will come to you. It's proven. If you do the
Yep.
work, you show on the field, don't matter what school you are at. It don't matter if you're D2, D3, or what's the name. They're looking at all these. I'm seeing D3 kids, D2 schools going to Power 4 schools right now because of the stats that they put up and or whatever they was at. So if you put the work in, the school is definitely going to reach out to you and talk to you, whatever that NIL money and any of that looks like. But a lot of kids I see going to transfer portal don't have no direction of where they want to go. And like what you just said, they're looking at their stats, they're looking at their size, and they're looking at them as, sure, I'm the same size as them. I did the same thing as them. So let me go on a portal too, see who will want me.
That is true. I talked to some boy the other day. He was stating that he had all these schools reaching out to him. And I said, okay, cool. I say, what are they saying? Oh, I say, are they reaching out to you or are they just texting you? Because there's a difference in reaching out and just following you. There's a difference in that now. That's the problem. So now here it is. What's crazy now? He had all of these players in his school going in the portal because they had all these coaches following him on Twitter. They don't even know to understand the difference than following me on Twitter and offering me on Twitter. So I told him, hey, wait before you start jumping in that portal. He disagreed, went in the portal anyway, right now. The same school that was going crazy, following him and all the DM, didn't give him an official visit. Now he's down to a small school, just a step above where he came from, when he could just stay where he was at. He was on a full ride, finish up this year, had another year, and be a college graduate, and graduated and moved on from there. But they're chasing something that they're not going to catch a lot of them, and especially the smaller school. I just did my homework too. It says right here, fourth. I know you had yours right there too. 4,000. You said in the portal. On this feed right here, it said 4,500 is in the portal. But now here's where it get heartbreaking. 35 to 40% would not come out the portal. 35 to 40% would not come out of that portal. That is not right. That's when they said college football has a major problem on their hands now. Because you're going to have 35%. So out of 4,500 in the portal right now, that means 2,000, no, maybe 1,700 to 2,000 going to still be in the portal, and they can't get back out. They can't go back to their school. They stuck like Chuck, as they would say. That's the bad part. And I'm going to go into the next step after that in a minute. But I did want to flip back a little bit, Tramayne. That's something interesting that I was talking to one of my boys. He's at a D2 school. 2 years ago, he could have came out, had a great year. He chose to stay. I said, why? He said, I just don't really want to go. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm going to try to stack up. Try to stack up. That's okay, stack up. On the meantime, well, his mom and dad are paying $500, $600, $700 a month because of D2 school. Paying money. See, that's the problem people forget about. The lower you go, you start paying a little money. The next year, he actually dominated. I got to give him credit. Thank you. I talked to him the other day. Yeah, I did good, coach. I made it work. I know my mama had to spend a little money, but we good now. Now, look like he finna go to Kansas and play, and like he finna get a little NIL money. He said, I'm gonna pay my mama their money back, and I'm good to go. What percentage of athletes are like that? Small percentage. A very small percentage to come out and take a chance like that right there and get a chance to still come out and go from a D2 to a Power 4. But look where he coming from. He coming from schools like Ferris State, the national 4-time national champions. You get a quarterback for Ole Miss, Ferris State. The linebacker, Ferris State. All the guys come from that level of football. They're going to get that shot versus the other D2 school that's 2-10. That's not going to work. That's the difference too when you're making the ultimate decision to go into this portal. I still got to break down, but I'm gonna go back in it. No, after we touch on a couple more subjects when they're talking about going into that portal. That thing is something else. It's
Hey,
interesting.
I got somebody about to hop on in a minute. Keep on
Yeah.
talking, Coach
So
Lowe.
I got a summary, but I don't really want to really get into the summary part of it. I'm gonna sum it up at the very end. What is the next step if you get stuck in the portal? And that's the next step. But what I want to jump in on now is talk about the support.
Hold on one
The
second. I got
support.
somebody come in. I got somebody come in real quick. I got Mr. Felton here real quick. I know I talked to him yesterday. He's been talking to a lot of kids that's in the portal. Coach Lowe, I know you know Mr. Felton. I met him
Yes,
because
sir. What's going
we
on?
yeah. So Mr. Felton, I was thinking about you because we were talking about transfer portal, and we talked yesterday. I said, man, let me get him in and talk about what he's been seeing in this portal because Coach Lowe just pulled up another number, the number that I got that I had. He says over 4,500 kids in the portal. So what are you seeing?
So it's low. I mean, and to the both of you guys, thank y'all for me to be on real quick. Coach Lowe and Brother Tramayne, man, listen, 4,500, if I'm not mistaken, that was the D1 number.
Yes.
That's the D1 number. That is not including the other 3,000 in divisions that's 2, 3, and below who are in that. So we are over 7,000 people in the transfer portal right now. So
Jesus, I didn't think about that.
it is crazy. It is crazy, and it is getting out of hand. But definitely, you know, how we navigate through this is a real serious thing. And if we do it right, or if young people do it right and they listen to people like Coach Lowe, I go to Lowe all the time to get ideas and to hear things that I can do to continue to help my athletes. But I'm telling you, when you can be a part of things of this nature, tune into the sports club and things of that nature, man, you can really start getting some information that you can help these young people.
All right, so a little about your business. I know you got some kids. What are you telling your kids now that you're helping with about the portal?
So one of the things about it just depends, right? So we have right now everything from a D1 athlete all the way to a high school athlete, right? Who is getting ready to transition into college. I just had an athlete sign with us who is at BCU, right? And just to give you some context, he wants to go into the portal, but because we've seen some of the stuff that is on his PFF, I instantly said, hey, listen, now let's put a pause on that real quick because we need to see some light on the other end of the tunnel before you make that move, because I don't want you to get caught into the twilight zone and you go into the portal and then you have nowhere else to go. So there are solutions that we have come up with, and there are different connections and networking that we have started where we can actually talk with representation on different levels, believe it or not. And when I say talk with representation on different levels, the D1 AA athlete versus the FCS, FBS athlete, there is representation out there on different levels, but you got to know, or you got to have somebody who knows how to vet that, to open the market for that particular athlete so that he or she can navigate through this portal. So that's very important.
Well, I'm glad you spoke light on that so people can get a better understanding. I know when we talked yesterday, you have these athletes. I'm seeing every day that you're getting more kids that you're helping out, especially in this tough situation. I think everybody that's in the portal definitely needs some guidance. It looks like people need to go back to having mentorship now. Like, there's no point of just going into something without having somebody that guides you into the right steps. So I'm glad that you're able to help these kids out and also guide them on this transition. The crazy thing about this, nobody knows how to do this perfectly because it's brand new. Everybody's still trying to figure out how to do this and maneuver around this at the end of the day. So nobody's perfect. Everybody's still trying to learn how to do this and do the best by the kids at the end of the day. And also, not so much, and it's hard to do this, not so much of chasing the bag if it doesn't make sense. Because a lot of kids are chasing the bag. They seen this kid making this amount of money. Because I had a
Right.
couple of kids come to me that want to go to get an offer to go to school. Like, what school you going to? Oh, the one that's making the most money. I said, hold up, that's the wrong answer right there. The one that's making the
Right.
most money. For one, what happened to going to school, figuring out if that school got the degree you want to go to? Number one, that's number one out of the one at the end of the day. Do you like the coaching staff? Do you like the coach? Not what bag they're gonna give you because that bag can go away the first week you get there. They can be like, we don't like you. Go in the portal. And guess what? That money is gone. So people like
Absolutely.
yourself is educating these kids on making the right decision before they even go in. What do you think about that right there, Coach Lowe?
Well, man, just looking at everything, I keep glancing over here at all the stats I'm looking at right now too, and how they're making a decision to go in the portal or who gonna get a chance to come out the portal. It's just hard to just fathom what's going on in this sports world in the portal as it is. It's some answer you can't even answer some of the questions. You know, you can't. I mean, it's crazy. You heard me earlier. I was just on the phone with my daughter boyfriend just talking about the same thing in the portal, and it comes that I had him last week. It's different than comes I had this week. I want to go back to this. Let's flip the script a little bit. Before the January 2nd, school was coming at him that is supposed to come at him. Like, you know, you're supposed to like, don't talk to them, don't can't call now. That's the restriction. Bull crap. I don't know why they even got restriction. Because they're gonna find a way to get to that kid. No if and buts about it. They're gonna go to a trainer, they're gonna go to a coach, or go to 707 coach. They're gonna find a way to get to the trainer. They'll go to the high school coach. They're gonna find a way to get to that kid. I don't know if and buts about it. And then they get caught, who cares? If I can give a kid millions, why I can't pay the NCSA $500 fine? What's the purpose? Because I'm like 707. When we used to go 707 tournament, you couldn't go to a college uh, on your way to the tournament. You couldn't stop and visit school. I never forget this. I'm gonna call it out. I was from Florida Gators. Hey, we're on our way to come through. Pull up, low. All right, no problem. And I like, ain't y'all gonna get in trouble? Just 250. We'll take care of that. No big deal. They don't care about the restriction or what kids remember. Who gonna? It's already illegal. It's already a mess anyway. So what's the big deal trying to hide it? To be straight up. Listen, we want you at our school. Go in the portal. They doing it. I know that for a fact that they doing. But then here's what's crazy. I told him, I said, hey man, listen, be careful going that portal. I say, and I know you're talking to people now, but keep in mind, January 2nd,
Look,
when they open up, that conversation is gonna change. No, I'm good, come good. I said, okay now. Guess what? That conversation changed. We don't went from D1 mid-major power four. Now we're down to
you,
ULM. Not even ULM. Not that we're at
you,
Stony Brook. Somebody
you
crazy.
know what? You know what happened? And the kids are not smart at all. You know what happened, right? Playoff games started in late December. They started losing, and guess what? Every team that lost, them players start going into the portal. Just like when Alabama just lost. Guess what happened the next day? Portal, 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 portal. Them are more higher end kids. So the kids that they're probably looking to, they're gonna push them down now because now you got JMU coming. What's the other team that what's the other school that went that lost? Can't think of the name of the per moment. Alabama,
Tulsa or Tulane. Tulane? Tulsa.
Tulane.
Tulane,
Tulane. Yep.
Tulane lost. What's the name lost? All them teams that lost, all them kids going to portal. So guess what? They're going to look at them instead. Just for example, the JMU quarterback, he went in the portal. Now he's at UCF. He just
Yep.
was out of school. All the Alabama top players, five star athletes, all hit the portal. So these kids that's going in the portal, not even thinking, you ain't thinking about the playoff season. all these kids that's going in there that may be third string that's probably better than you, to be honest with you. They just went
Mm-hmm.
there because they wanted to get the money. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
think about them things, because now they're like, oh, I can get John Doe. Oh, he was good at what's the name? He about to transfer. Let me get, hey man, I'll give you $500,000. Oh, we were talking to him, but we throw you to the side because now we didn't know he was going to portal because they thought they're going to the ship. They're
Dog.
not
And
thinking.
and
They're
and,
not
and
thinking about them things.
And
Go
Tremaine,
ahead.
let me say this too, because we just dealt with this situation, and I don't know if you all addressed this a little bit earlier in the show, but if that kid who's going from high school to college and he's going to a D1 school, if you're not a 5-star or considered to be a 5-star level, you really know where they see you by the amount of money that they give you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You really know how they see you about the amount of money they offer you, right? So if they're not offering you anything and you get a full ride scholarship, let me say to your audience, you should consider being at that school for at least 2 years.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You
I
should
agree.
at least consider being at that school for 2 years, because until you can get some film, it goes right back to some of the things that you've been taught in high school. You get you some film, you can get the bigger opportunities. You put it on film, you can get bigger opportunities. If you're not on that field in college in your freshman year, then maybe it's going to happen for you in your sophomore year. But consider one of those years to be a red shirt year, and maybe spend a year, another extra year in that situation until you can get some productivity. Because I was talking with another agent, and the agent told me those who are top tier, they better have at least 600 snaps for the season.
Yep.
600 snaps. So,
Now I'm
Coach
gonna
Lowe, you
jump
can
in now.
attest to this. It's 60. It's about 50 to 60 snaps on offense and defense. That's about between 100 and 120 snaps per game. That means you better have a full season
Mm.
of snaps in order for you to get the big bucks.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you why you telling the truth on that, buddy. I got a kid right now had 432 snaps. A school just called him and said, "Hey, we'd love to have him." I say, "What's the plan for him?" He get on the field over here. He ranked top up here. And we had 430 something 2 snaps. I say, "Yeah, but I think he come here. He can be our number 2 or our number 3."
God dang.
But then my other boy, he got 800 snaps. He got all, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he's him. And guess what? He could have stayed right where he at. He was doing fine until he got a phone call and said, "Hey, come on out of there. We got you over here." And sure enough, the money ruled. And they out of here going to chase that money.
Hey.
Because they were getting a lot of money right there. I just want people to understand too, right quick. We going away from the Bible and the scripture where it shows the 2 roots. One of them roots. And I think we missing the boat. And I think people are forgetting that. They're putting that to the back burner. And they're chasing the image instead of seeing what's authentic. Because eventually come back to hunt them. And let me show you why I come back to hunt them now. And people might not recognize me, but I know about 15 boys in Central Florida. We sat down and talked about all the boys in Central Florida that went Power 5 or Power 4. None of them are superstars right now. Half of them in the portal. So they chasing one thing, but maybe they should have went where they can be that guy, that man, instead of running up there to the top, chasing that green. And now all of a sudden, now you're
Well,
chasing a dream,
well, I
hoping
would say
somebody
two.
pick you up.
I'll say 2 things with that. I think it goes 2 ways with that. What you just said. I think it goes from coaching. I think the head coach or assistant coach at that school is not being, I guess, realistic with them on where they're getting aligned to go to school at, and they're chasing a bag. Because like you just said earlier, if you're chasing a bag, more likely, I ain't gonna name no names. I know about over 5 kids right now that's in the portal that was 4 stars, 3 stars, and 5 stars. That's not even at the school they're going to right now. They're leaving. They're not no superstars like you just said because they all chase the bag. What happened to going to a school that aligns with your morals, aligns with your skill set, aligns with your playing ability? Which I know is hard now because the coaches are leaving too. The coaches are
Yep.
leaving, and your assistant coaching, your position coaches are all leaving too. So it does make it hard at all different levels to even do that too as well, unless you're just
So,
a dog.
so we're not going to win the battle. It's done. Football is down a rabbit hole, and
A
you're not
bad
going to get
rabbit
the rabbit out
hole.
of that hole. Number one. Number two, it's not football, it's Moneyball. So we're done with that. Number three, you better start now while you're young. Get them kids while they're young and work them into death. They dream, they want to play football, and you see an opportunity to get a scholarship for your kid. You better start them while they're young and put them in every situation where they can be the best and get a full ride and be that man, that dog, training, working, camp, whatever the case might be. Sacrifice now. Number four, all parents need to get a second job. All parents better start a prepaid college fund. All
You ain't
Hey,
lying.
parents,
You're not
all
lying. You're not
parents,
lying,
hey,
Lo.
they better
You ain't lying.
invest. They better invest in tutoring. All
oh,
parents,
oh,
they
hold
better
on
make
real
sure their
quick.
kid got a
Let
3.0
me
or higher.
Let me stop you right there because I'm a teacher, and you're 100% correct. Because we already talked earlier. If your kid ain't leaving in December, the odds of him going somewhere big is very slim. Let's be honest with that. Can y'all agree with that?
I agree.
So the problem with that is if your kids don't have aligned their grades, the academics correct, they can't leave in December.
Correct.
So
Correct.
you need to figure out where your kid at academically wise after school. If you think he has an opportunity to go to college, you need to invest in him and making sure that he is a 4.0 student or whatnot. Because as Coach Lowe said, he always talk about his son all the time. If you go to a D2 school and you have good grades and you get a scholarship, they could probably weigh out for you. You don't got to pay no money at the end of the day.
Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because for
Exactly.
one thing, you can go to a D1 school right now, you can get hurt and they can let you go. And guess what?
That's
I
right.
have seen it.
Okay,
I've seen
I
it.
got
I've
one.
seen it already. I've
Freshman
seen
year,
it.
high school, 15 offers, choose Purdue, go to Purdue. It's my boy, I ain't call no name, but great kid, on point, ACL, get hurt, come back to spring, play okay, call me in the office. We recruited over you, recruited too much. You're not here for us. You will not be on our roster. We'll pay for you to go to college here because we got class at the school. We got class. So, but you can't be on this roster. So either you go to school and never play football again at this school, or you go in the portal. So now here, Power Five, we had to go in the portal. Now you got no film. You coming from an ACL. You got to go to another school to start over. So you could go to a Power Four, Power Five back then. Go drop down to a D1 mid-major, D1 AA, get film. Now you got to go back up. It's nothing but a big roller coaster. Ain't nothing but a big roller coaster when it comes to the NIL, to the transport portal, and what the kids are going through. I just hope the parents make the right choice. And I'm gonna sum it up on my side right this here because I do have a big camp coming up in Las Vegas this weekend. I got a Zoom for all the coaches up there. But I want to sum this up for the parents or anybody that's on this feed, this Facebook Live, and we'll keep giving to you every Monday. A kid goes in the portal. He leaves the college that he was at. He's not in school anymore. Coaches say, go ahead and go, but you can't come back to this team. You leave and go into the portal. You don't get picked up. Now you're out of college. Now you got a choice. Go back to that school and pay to go to college. Your mama said, I ain't got the money. I can't pay $800, $900, $1,000 a month. Oh, wait a minute. When you was in college, you didn't have a 4.0. Most college football players have an average of 2.0 in college. So now when you try to go back to college with a 2.0, you get no academic money, buddy. You got to get financial aid from your mama. Your mama got to start getting loans. You got to get a job to pay this to go to college. So that means that kid possibly is not going to college. So now he's in a portal. He's not going to college. He's struggling mentally, stressed. So now he say, well, let me go home and let me get me a job. Problem is, you didn't get an AA degree. You didn't get a bachelor degree. You played football. You quit, basically. You went in the portal. You're stressed. Now I got to get me a job. Who going to hire me? 7-Eleven gas station. Want a few good people. Take a Shake, want a few good people. McDonald's want a few good people. But wait a minute. Oh my gosh, you never worked. So I got people with restaurant experience. I got people with working at a gas station experience. I'm going to hire them over you. So now you don't have no job. Okay, well, how am I survive? Okay, let's go sell some drugs. Now I'm a drug dealer on the corner. Now I'm doing exactly what they want you to do. Go to jail. But good thing about jail, they give you the same thing you could have got when you was in college. So when you're in college, they give you a free room, free clothes, free food with no expenses. Now you're in jail with a free room, free clothes, free food with no expenses. We have to make the right decision. But there is a way out of all of this here, parents. Stay where he at, go to school, get an education, and be done with it. Or do what they want us to do. Go to the military. Because they're always looking for a few good men to get free food, free clothes, free travel, free rent, and a paycheck. Make a decision wisely. And you heard that from Lowood.
Real quick, though, why he can't work at XL Speed?
Because he don't want to train.
Hey, so real quick to get off here real quick. So thanks, Mr. Felton, for coming on, and thanks, Coach Lowe. So I hope you guys tuned into this, and just one quick thing about this for me to end this off. Think about this, and I tell the kids all the time, if you go to Georgia Tech for engineering, and then you transfer to BCU, they don't got an engineering program. Then you go to a sociology because the coach is going to tell you, hey, we want you on the field right now. You got to switch. Then you go to another school, some Western Kentucky, something like that, and they don't ain't got that degree. You got to switch to another degree. Think about that. Every time you transfer, what was your main degree? Does that school aligns with the school what you want to go to school for? 9 times 10, probably not. So at the end of the day, you're going to graduate with some boo-boo degree that you can't do nothing with. But when your first initial thoughts was to be an engineer, because that changed. Instead of aligning yourself with schools that has engineering program and has a decent football program, and then you transfer to that school, because at the end of the day, the NFL just want ballers. And it's already proven that NFL drafts people for anywhere if you definitely balling on that football field. There's too much proof out there. It's blueprint. So at the end of the day, parents, stop chasing the bag. There's too many blueprints out there of kids that's doing good, kids that's not doing good, kids that have money that's broke right now and buying chains every single week. I see it on Instagram every day. Soon as them kids get that bag, they got a chain around their neck and they got a car. Every single kid.
But I tell you this, I'm not going to knock the one that can get the money. If you're a 4-star, you're a 5-star, and you can get that money, and you're going to go get paid, go change your family life. Get the right guidance, the right person behind you. Don't pay agent 20%. Don't do just like NFL. Give them 3%, 4%. Let them get you more money. If an agent gets you 3% or 4%, that's great because you did the hard work on the field. But if that agent go out there and get you another $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 sponsorship or don't, whatever they get you, that agent deserve that money then. That's how I say it.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Absolutely. We are definitely
your hard work as a 4-star, 5-star, that gives the agent 3%. But his hard work to go get you the Bonefish restaurant and the big commercials and the Buick cars and all that, and the big stuff, give him 20%. That's his job. You ain't do that for that. That's a mindset right there. I want to put that in your life.
Well, do this.
But Lowe said a mouthful on that one, and I know we got to end, but he said a mouthful, and that is the honest to God truth. Some of the parents, they got, when you got a kid who's a 5-star, 4-star, do not shy away from business. Don't shy away from business. Somebody's going out there to work hard for your child and get you paid, get him paid, because the money that's going to be made is generational kind of money. You know what I'm saying? It's generational wealth kind of money. You ain't never seen $500,000, $600,000 in income before, but your child has worked hard. You've invested in that child. So guess what? Teach that child that when he or she has an agent, let them get that 10, 15. Now, I don't know about what Lowe talking about with 20%, but 10, 15, that definitely in that area, in that range. Now, when they get to the NFL, start looking under 10, under 5, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
Don't listen to Coach Lowe. Coach Lowe just saying that, but when that check come to him, he see that big number. Let's negotiate. That's what he gonna say. But
Listen, I tell you that. Listen, you know what? I just listen. I'm right now. Sometimes you just got to make a game change. So I'm gonna push back that Zoom, and we finna keep. When you ready to get off, you ready to get off. But in the meantime, I just want these parents to get educated.
yeah.
Education is going to be the key when it comes down to recruiting and being with the right people. The ones that putting their passion before the money. Mr. Felton called me all the time. Do you think this camp is good? You think that camp
oh,
is good?
thank you.
Should I
You
pick
hit right.
this camp?
Hold on. You hit it, Coach. Like we think just alike. I was just about to ask Mr. Felton because he's the only one with a younger kid right now. How are you investing in your kid right now at a younger age, and you investing to him to be at this get to the next level? Coach Lowe just hit it in the head.
Yeah, I'm and Lowe is one of the guys, or one of the many, not many, but few guys around the city who I talk to, and I want to know what the credibility is. I want to know what's happening, because I got guys who are coming up to me with all of these other items or these events that may seem like they're credible, look like they're good, but they're money grabs or whatever the case may be. Now,
Mhm.
I don't hate on anybody who has a dream to help somebody, but we got to see your heart behind it for real. We really got to see whether you're just trying to get paid or you really trying to help these kids. Because and I know this is a show or what have you, and it's a podcast or whatnot, but there's a couple of guys out here, I ain't gonna name no names, that really do have credible showcases and things of that nature, and whoever they invite and different things, because I see their heart. I see their heart in what they do, right? But then I see some other guys who they want to charge this, that, third, but you go out there, they don't care nothing about the kids. They really don't care nothing about the
Well,
kids.
listen, here's
And
what I
that's
tell
why I'll tell anybody, anything Low Woods do, I will definitely pay my money or go and text him and ask him for a code so I can get my kids.
you. Yeah, you know what? That one thing about this joke here, boy. That man, you gotta make sure you get that code.
Look,
Hey, but you know what's so funny though? Here's the thing about that. My favorite 3 words is ROI.
Yep.
ROI. Return on
Return on
investment.
investment.
Return on investment. And that goes for anything that you're doing, because the return on investment starts with the parent putting the kids in the right situation, or getting behind that kid, putting them in camp, putting them in training, putting them in all-star game, get them, let them gain the experience. I know it's tough out there, he ain't playing or he ain't doing this great or whatever, but the experience goes a long way. But then the kid have to give the parent the ROI. So when he do get in the game, he can't get beat for touchdown. He can't be scared to hit. He can't miss a touchdown pass. He can't whip on the block. Ole, come on through. So he got to get a parent of ROI. But then that program or that camp, them coaches, how to get a kids a ROI. And then that all-star coach got to get a kids a ROI. All that comes all in a one big place where everyone has to be on the same page. If they're not getting an ROI, then that's a problem.
so
And it
I'm
starts from
gonna.
the parent putting their money in to invest in their kid taking the money that the parent invests and doing the right thing with it. And then the kid got to go to the camp, and the coaches they go to camp got to do their part. And then the all-star game got to do their part. It's a return on investment.
And
Take the price of the camp, take the price of the program, and divide it by 4 hours or 3 hours, and ask yourself, was it worth it? And if you can get that, then you know you're at the right program, you're at the right place.
so a lot when you just said something, you said at every camp, everything I've been with you, the ROI, and a lot of times the parents don't discuss or talk to their kids about the ROI or how they supposed to produce, because I have seen at camps that the kid will allow another kid to jump in front of him because he's not being aggressive, or he's not out there. He got lackadaisical, or he was the man at his program, but now when you come with a whole bunch of dogs, now you get shy. So now your parent wants to come and be like, well, my son didn't get no reps. Well, one thing I know Coach Lowe do at the beginning of every single camp: identify your kid, and look at your kid, talk to your kid if you're going to get an ROI at the end of the day. Because a lot of times it's the kid is not giving the ROI back to the parent because they're going out there loafing, blowing tackles, letting people jump in front of him in camps, not giving their all, playing with the grass when they're supposed to be by the coach to get in the game. I see all of this. You know why? Okay, I know people know me as a videographer, photographer, but I did play the football game. I just like to be behind the scenes. I see all this stuff on the sidelines. I see all this through the lens. I see these kids being lazy. A lot of times it's not the coaches. Sometimes it's the parents or the situation at home, or whatever that situation is. There's no structure, so they come on a football field. You allow us to make sure to give them structure, and it's hard to do. We got to work together. And then you're going to get your ROI. You can invest all this money, all these camps, and they'll never get better.
But Tramayne, let me say this too, because you hit it right on the head. Me personally, right? I can only speak about mine. I've had to deal with that with both of my boys. You understand? I've had to deal with that very same thing with both of my boys. Lowe even had to pull one of them to the side and say, "Hey, you better you got to come up." You know what I'm saying? You got to come with it. But here's the thing: with what Lowe said, he had reinforcement too. Oftentimes, when these kids get back home, or one of those coaches say what they see the ability, they see the potential, right? But then when a coach says something to your kid, to that child, to that athlete, it is to make them better. It's not to tear them down, right? And what do? I come in and I reinforce what he said. I come in and reinforce what he said.
And that's what's not happening, what you just said right there, and I know that for a fact. It's not getting reinforced in their head. You can't leave a football field and then you go home. Don't listen to that coach. You did good, son. Right. You did that. No, I'm sorry. No, he didn't do good. No, he was
trash. What do you mean?
he's tripping.
I was at the camp this weekend, and happened to walk behind, and the kid asked the other kid, "It's okay if I go in front of you?" the other kid like, "Yeah, go ahead."
That happens at all camps. You know the dogs. You can tell. You can separate the dogs. Hey, real quick before we get off. Everybody who's watching this, camps, please go to camps if you can afford it. And I have to give it to Gavin. If Gavin and the parents watching this, I love them because one thing I noticed, they travel to different states to compete at camps to identify and also get his name out there in different states and cities so he can see how he competes with other people in different states and also how the coaches are in different states. For example, me and Coach Lowe, we did a camp in Buffalo last year, quarterback. He did decent. We were surprised he came to the All-American thing. He ain't do good. 2 reasons: cold, and then 2, there's a lot of dogs out there. He won't just one dog. So going to these different camps for your kids gives them more exposure. They might not do good this year because it's new to them, it's different, it's competitive, but continue to invest and talk to them because they may do better the next year. You got to put your kids in situations to win. It may be uncomfortable at first because they never did it, but stay on to them. When you get done, go talk to the position coach, especially with Coach Lowe. All them guys will remember your kid. They're going to tell you what your kid did wrong. If he didn't get that invite thing, they're going to tell you, well, he was loafing, or he needs to work on this, or he needs to work on his feet work, or he won't really aggressive. They're going to tell you exactly what is wrong with your son and what he needs to do to get better, so you can invest in that.
And let me tell you this right here too: helmet and shoulder pads is different than cleats and shorts and shirt. They're total two different things.
Yes, sir.
So if you playing football with helmet and shoulder pad, and you got that heart of a lion, and you run up in that thing, you you the man. Well, you got 5 linemen blocking for you. You on defense, the D line getting the pressure on the quarterback. Here come an easy interception. Quarterback threw up in the air. You got to pick. You got like you the man now. But that was a team effort. He scored, we scored. He tackled, we tackled.
Right.
But now put on the shirts, the shorts, and the cleats. Now let me show you what you got. And I'm giving props to Felton, Lil Felton, when he comes to camp, he dominates that because he trained for it. He prepared for that camp. Trained first, compete second. But so the guy said, well, oh, how you get MVP? He garbage in football. They team suck. Your team the best team. Yeah. But let's go to college. Let's go to college. In college, this quarterback or receiver is the man. But then we went to the combine. He didn't have no helmet and shoulder pads on. If camps are not important and combine is not important, why they still make the number one quarterback in the world or in college go to the combine? Why the running back still go? Yeah, Deion Sanders do the whole thing, but he ran that 40. That's what I'm saying. So we got to be smart about it. So the camps is totally different. So you can't go there thinking my son better than him on tackle because this ain't got to do with it. This is different. So when you want to go to the next level, your son got to be good with shorts, shirt, and cleats, and helmet and shoulder pads. You got to be
And
good.
to your point, Coach Lowe, Charles Woodson said something to me one time, and he was actually speaking to Deuce. He said, football is a team sport, but it's looked at on a microscope. But you look at it individually. So specific to what you all are saying, man, and it is really a thing that, and it kind of goes to what we were talking about when it came down to portal and NIL. The real truth about what's happening from a portal perspective, what's happening from an NIL perspective, is something what Tramayne said that he's seen with Gavin. It's the exposure. Exposure has really changed this game. It is the difference between that kid who has a 5-star versus the kid who doesn't, but has the same size, has the same stats as the 5-star, but he's not. Don't nobody know anything about him. He playing the rural. He playing the rural district. You see what I'm saying? Got the same stats or whatever. May have better stats, but the fact of the matter is nobody knows anything about him. And I just want to throw this in as a caveat to the conversation that when parents invest in these kids, also give them a social media presence too, because that social media presence allows them to leverage that D1 school, whether it's FCS or FBS, by the time that they are seniors. If they got 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers, you want to know one kid that I'm highly impressed with his social media? That is Jovan. What's Jovan's last name? 7th grader.
Jimenez. Don't ask me.
Jimenez. Man,
that
boy, what his father is doing for him and how he's got him consistently behind it. 46,000 followers as a 7th grader. He got NIL deals already, NIL opportunities already.
Think about this right here with that. Even, let's say he don't become. Let's just say he didn't become the top quarterback in high school. The reason why they're gonna give him a chance and look at him because of the exposure and what he had going on all the way through. That man hanging out at Clemson, hanging out Florida, hanging out. So he gonna get that chance. Now, what he do with it is gonna be on him. But let's say he don't get to be 6'1", 6'2". Let's say he don't get to do this and get faster. But because he trained, he coached, he at least gonna get a chance to get looked at or get into school, what a kid might be. He gonna get a chance to look at.
Let me give you somebody right now. Blaze. Blaze is the same exact way. He got into the Under Armour game. I know from all his exposure and getting offers. So to your point, you're 100% correct, Coach Lowe. And I talk about this all the time. We can talk about this for a long time about branding and NIL and how good Tua is doing because he's definitely doing a good job. But when you say social media, me working at camps and me want to tag kids got no posts. Their names retarded on Instagram.
Right.
How the heck do you are playing? You talking about you want to get a bag, but you ain't doing the bag fundamentals. Like you got dumb names on Instagram. Your name should be your regular name on what's name or last name, some numbers if you want. But these
Right.
has your regular name. Have some posts on there. Show your character. Show what you look like, what you doing. Show some clips. A lot of kids don't got nothing. They're clueless. I'm like, what is going on? What are we educating? But y'all want to chase the money though.
And Tremaine, and I don't know who told high school and or college students this. I don't know who told them, but in middle school you had all of the highlights. You had everything on your page. But then when you get to high school, you got 6 pictures, 3 pictures, 2 videos.
They
Well,
I
no,
don't know
archive it.
who.
no, I can help you. Let me help you out with that one. So I talked to my daughter. I say, listen,
Oh,
Shop Doctor want to make you their brand ambassador and soldier. So you just got to do, these are things you need to do. So I went on and one day I said, well, what? I said, I see 6 posts. And I said, you got to be posting more than that. What's going on? Then I realized, they post the stories because they disappear. But then
correct.
but here was crazy now. But then what they do is they don't make you a friend to see what they're posting.
Oh, my students show me that. They only show their friends. They friends see your post. I'm like, what is
Right.
that?
Because
What is that?
they're doing something they got no business. So and that's the problem. So Instagram is not designed for them. See the mindset is Twitter helped me get recruited. Instagram I can act a fool, and then Facebook is for old people. That's the mindset of a teenager. That's the mindset of it. But I will tell you this at the last camp, a kid named Sebastian at Orlando camp, who was MVP, all camp team, dominated. The wide receiver named Sebastian, he was good.
Oh, the
And
light skinned boy.
I remember him.
I seen him at the Georgia Tech game. He said, Coach, since I came from the story, he said, y'all posted me 11 times. I got 3 stories right up. Cam Newton C1N called me to be on his 707 team.
That's
I
crazy.
got followed by Miami. Thank you, Coach. Now, we don't make no promise about no scholarship, nothing. But what we do tell them, we're going to give you the exposure, we're going to post you, we're going to do our part, and that's what we do. We just help you and set a platform for you. But think about what he said, Cam Newton. So people think now it got to the point, it ain't just go getting college to look at it. It's you got like Cam Newton looking at you, or CA1N, or California Power. I got Lamar Garrison live in Leesburg, and he got California. He paying for California Power. So people recognize you from your social media. And Lamar Garrison, freshman All-American. Duke played for, I think, SFE, freshman All-American. All these guys are getting opportunity because they going to camp, they doing their part, they dominating, they training. And I said on Tuesday, Thursday, they training. So that's the difference too. Got to train, got to be in the right place, get the exposure.
Hey, go to the camps.
That exposure is something, man, because and again, I've got, and Tramayne knows this, we're working on a piece right now for my seniors that are in high school, kind of leading them up. And one of the ideas that we created was a mini docu-series, right, where they can actually put out 2-3 minute clips every week about something of their life leading up to the next national signing day. And what it's going to do is we've done it to increase their exposure, to get more organic growth across their social media. And if we can get more organic growth across their social media, they may spend next year at a D3, D2, or whatever the case may be. But when their value gets bigger in the market, who's to say you might not be that kid Chandler from Ferris that gets picked up by Ole Miss and in the CFP the following year? Who's to say?
So I'm gonna end it off this right here, and we'll close it out. Y'all know that big old strong muscle guy that been running beside the cars?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Coach Lowe?
yeah.
Ashton Hall,
Speed,
whatever.
yeah.
He went to a HBCU school. He's not in pro, right? Am I correct? Everybody can identify that, right? He's not in pro, But this dude got a big deal with a drink company by him posting on social media. He got a million followers. A dude that was in
Wow.
college at HBCU school as a running back. And look at him now. He's making more money than people that's that's making NIL money in college, and also
Yep.
people in pros. So he's I'm gonna bring some more. I'm gonna do some case studies of some other people that's just like him, that's making really good money using their brand. We already know about Angel Reese and all them other people like that too as well, that's making really good money for their brand. So, I hope you guys, enjoyed this episode. This is our first one in like a year. It's been a long time when me and Coach Lowe haven't been on here. It feels good to be back. It's a blessing to be on here. God, but Divine, all of us here at this one time to appreciate all you guys. Well, definitely what's going on, because at the end of the day, we all three of us will feel great by you guys taking this in and educating your kids, so we can see your kids on the next level, see them on Saturday and also Sunday. That's the key goal at the end of the day. Or they getting a good education or go to the military. It doesn't matter. As long as they're not behind the bars, or as long as they're getting an education and making their parents proud at the end of the day. So I want to thank you guys for being on here. It's been a year. We're going to be back on this thing, rocking and rolling. We got camps every single weekend. I can tell you that right now. Every weekend we got camps. We got bowl games. We got girls flying around. We got quarterbacks flying around. So we got a lot of stuff that's going on. I want you guys to stay tuned. If you need a code, hit up Coach Lowe. Coach Lowe for life.
AKA the Camp King.
The Camp King Nation tour is rolling. You are athlete, regional exposure camp, junior 150, rolling nationwide. All American exposure camp, AAE, rolling nationwide. Football university, rolling nationwide. Wheels up, wheels down. Just make sure your parent and your son had the same expectation. If you don't, the journey won't be 1,000 steps, it'll be 100 steps. I'm Coach Lowe for life, AKA the Camp King.
All right, you got peace out, y'all.
Hey, Tramayne, before you log off, can I say one more thing? Listen,
Go ahead.
Justin Felton Athletic Management. Listen, we are helping high school students all the way up to college into the pros, and whatever we can be able to do to help you, feel free to inbox me on any one of my social media pages. If you're on Twitter or X, hit me up at Felton Biz, B-I-Z, Felton Biz, Instagram, Felton Biz, B-I-Z. And I don't have no fancy tagline like Coach Lowe, but hey, we call it the fam. And when you with us, family is everything. All right? God bless y'all.
Well, I ain't got no tagline either. They just call me Mr. Right Choice for a reason. So we out. Peace.